Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. You're watching AMS Live. It is Friday the 13th, October 13th, 2023. My name is Boy. You're watching AMS Live. We're at the Polderbaan. At the moment, the only runway in use for arrivals. We've got two 747s in Dutch airspace. The first one expected in 10 minutes or so. The second one, within half an hour at least. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to stay out for. It is rainy. It has been rainy yesterday. It had been rainy yesterday, and today we are due for some more rain later in the day. Latest weather forecast said that over here a short peak of rain is expected around noon. We'll have to see. It can change by the hour, so let's just see how long we can stay out here today. It's windy. Wind is blowing from the south, but it is varying between a little bit east of south and also southwest. It is expected that the wind is going to increase, so we might be in for some nice visuals. Good morning everybody who has already tuned in. Jackie, Alessia, Killer Spieler, Tiger, Paula, Katini, Maxine, Tina, Dave, Gosse, Daniel, T-Mac, Steve J, Leo, goedemorgen and good morning to you all. Vinny, goedemorgen. DP2017, goedemorgen. Michelle, Jinshin, good morning folks. Alright. 777 time. This is United Airlines flight 968. 777-200 arriving from San Francisco. Has been flying now for 9 hours and 55 minutes. 777-200 ER, 25 years old. First flight January 1998. And after that, an A319 EasyJet. Behind that, another 777-200 from KLM arriving from Johannesburg. Tiriliri, goedemorgen. Row Aviation, goedemorgen, good morning. Jet Music Travel Channel, goedemorgen, good morning. Erik, goedemorgen. Paul, good morning. Botelbeck, good morning. Niels, goedemorgen. The runway is wet. If the airplanes use their reversers, you'll get nice spray. Overall, this is what the weather looks like right now. Not too bad, actually. You can see some openings, or at least some less dense parts in the clouds. Although the wind is definitely blowing. If my voiceover sounds a little different than last time, it is because I switched back to using the lavalier mic with the DJI mic purely as a transmitter. I will save you the technical details, the reasons why, but initially I thought that the crackling and noise was because of it, but as it turned out, the interference of the modem and the DJI mic was the cause of the bad audio. And the lavalier mic is smaller and you can shield it better against the wind, so I hope that even though the voiceover sounds more clear when using the DJI mic, I hope this will make the voiceover more constant. EasyJet A319 arriving from Birmingham. And it is double triple time, and we have an A350 after that. Hey Ronald, goedemorgen. Rob, good morning. Veldi, goedemorgen. Aaron, good morning. Koen, goedemorgen. Double triple time. KLM flight 592 in the foreground, 777-200 arriving from Johannesburg, and behind it is Turkish flight 1951, yeah, arriving from Istanbul, and that is a 777-300ER. Now yesterday we had shitty weather, at least in my part, this part of the country. The north had a significantly better day, stayed dry most of the day in most of the north, but the southern half, including Schiphol, almost all day on and off rain. Matthijs, Appelstroop, goedemorgen. Captain Eddie Bos, good evening, good to see you again. Hope everybody is doing well. Right, now number 3 is the first of 2 queens. I think they are the only 2 queens we're about to see. The A380, if weather allows me to stay out for so long, is expected around 1 PM, a bit ahead of schedule. Still expected to land on the secondary runway though. Ian, good morning. Turkish Airlines flight 1951 arriving from Istanbul, flight time 3 hours 7 minutes. 7-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Behind it, Delta Airlines flight 74, and today once again flown in the A350. Behind that, Air China Cargo. You can see it at 7 o'clock in the top left, well, a little bit more towards the middle. Let's see if one of these airplanes is going to apply the reverse thrust. As I was setting up, I saw a few smaller jets doing that, and it caused some nice spray. And indeed, Queen number 2, I think is going to be a channel first, at least for me. Don't recall the name again, but it was an airplane I also have never seen before. Hey Marianne, goedemorgen. Alright, last week a couple of times it was flown on the A330, now it is the A350-900, once again Delta Airlines flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. At the moment the flight time of this airplane, 7 hours and 25 minutes. The airplane is 4 years old, first flight was in June 2019. Got the Queen behind it. And the third airplane also already visible, so even though it looks shitty, visibility is quite good actually. TUI flight 361 arriving from Aruba is that, the third airplane. Hey, Air China Cargo AMS office. Double checking if the airplane is actually landing. What a magnificent machine, the A350. So elegant. Oh yeah, spray! Bring it on! Now, Air China Cargo Office, I hope you guys instructed your captain to, or the pilot flying, to also use the reverse thrust royally. We expect nothing less. Kaylee, good morning. Karsten, guten Morgen. Gurken Hobo, guten Morgen. Ricardo, goedemorgen. Chunky, good morning. Bernd, guten Morgen. Hey, Mr. Donnelly, good morning, Jerry. Good to see you again. In the hot tub with ice cold Jaeger. And you can see the glide slope today, absolutely. Hey Lane, goedemorgen. Perfect timing. The first of two queens coming in from Chengdu, China, Air China Cargo Flight 1001. Boeing 747-400 freighter, flight time 10 hours and 30 minutes. The airplane is 17 years old. Her first flight was in December 2005. No wobbly things. Oh, and she's taking the first exit. 747 butt shot coming in, ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasant surprise. You can see the reflection of all the stripes and lamps on the ground in the bottom half of the tail. Beautiful. One more queen to go. She is already in Dutch airspace. Situation in the water, all is quiet. TUI flight 361, arriving from Oranjestad, Aruba. What is it? (7878). Flight time was 9 hours and 7 minutes. A320neo from SAS arriving from Oslo up next. Russell and Cheryl also missing. Is that 4 airplanes? Let me have a look on the laptop screen. Yeah, 4. Wow. What a sight. Well folks, if you like stuff like this, make sure to give the show a like. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get updates whenever I go live. Oh, thank you so much, Jerry. Super chat, 1 shot button, 2 Jaeger shots. Double shot for the quadruple airplane view. Hey there, Mrs. Professor, good morning. Wendy, goedemorgen. Well, don't see that very often. SAS flight 821 arriving from Oslo, A320neo. Flight time nearly 2 hours. 1-year-old airplane. Started flying in April 2022. Test dishes, good morning. Again, 4 airplanes in view. First, Embraer 175 arriving from Prague, Czech Republic. Behind it is a 787-10 arriving from India. Finnair A320 arriving from Helsinki as number 3. Martin, goedemorgen. Patrick, goedemorgen. Jannes, good morning. Hello there, common man, tuning in all the way from India. Good morning. Sander, goedemorgen. Hey there, Jim, goedemorgen. Good morning to one and all. Next up, KLM flight 872 arriving from Delhi. It is the KLM 100 years special livery 787-10 KLM flight 872. Flight time 9 hours and 20 minutes as we speak. She's 4 years old, first flight June 2019. Erik, goedemorgen. Ralf, goedemorgen. Finnair A320 arriving from Helsinki up next, flight 1301. And 3 more airplanes visible. Superb glide slope shots today. The A320 from Finnair has been underway for 2 hours and 38 minutes. 19 years old, first flight November 2003. Number 2 is going to be an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Berlin, and we have a 777-300 arriving from JFK as number 3. Finish butt shot coming in. We finish with a finish butt shot. Hey Donna, good morning. Good to see you again. Johan, goedemorgen. And indeed, busy in the airspace. Several airplanes visible on the glide slope each time we turn back the camera to the north. KLM flight 1822 is what we are looking at. Arriving from Berlin. Has taken this airplane an hour and 7 minutes to get here so far. 7-year-old airplane, first flight November 2015. Right, it is again a double triple time. Beautiful visualization of the glide slope. Glide slope, glide slope, glide slope, glide slope, Jerry. Quackers inside, quackers inside. Well, one. Where is it, the coot? No, that's a lady quacker. This is KLM flight 644, arriving from New York JFK, 777-300ER, flight time 6 hours, 19 minutes, 2-year-old airplane, first flight January 2021. Emma Cat, good morning, welcome to the stream. If you're new, don't be afraid to say hi, like Emma Cat just did. Joël, goedemorgen. Aan de andere kant, oh. It's a bit busy, but let's see if we can spot you then. Right, at the moment, a few droplets. I'm hoping it's not going to be something substantial. There we go. Gotcha. Nice. Now, the second queen is one that we don't see very often. Or at least, I think it's the first time I'm going to see it. Compass Air Cargo flying for Qatar, it looks like. And right now we are getting a few droplets. I'm hoping it's not going to intensify. Before the Queen, Air Canada flight 808, arriving from Toronto, Canada, 200 long range, 6 hours and 34 minutes of flight time, 15-year-old airplane, first flight February 2008. Marius, good morning. Coco babies, good morning. Hey Sander, goedemorgen. Sensing a butt shot, 777 butt shot incoming, but be quick. Yes, let's turn back the camera to the north. Compass Air Cargo, but it says QTR, so is that flying for Qatar then? I'm not sure. This airplane is arriving from Doha. Flight time 6 hours and 29 minutes. 747-400 freighter, 22 years old. First flight September 2001. The second and last queen to arrive before the A380, unless new 747s take off from nearby airports. Now Jerry, thank you so much for your super chat. Jerry says too many glide slopes, I have to go around accordingly. Be careful though. Too much of a good thing can also be bad. Now, we are having a few drizzly droplets. So let me quickly turn back the camera before too many droplets are getting on the lens. I think there is already one on the lens. Let's have another look at the weather radar. Don't think it should be anything significant, but it's always good to have a look. It looks like this will pass over quickly. No need to evacuate immediately. Right, back to the normal split screen configuration. Let's have a look. SAS arriving from Stockholm. There's a Scandinavian butt shot coming in. Or is there a bit more to the left? There you go. That's it. Her Majesty already going around the corner back to the main platform area. Well, it's the first time I've seen this airplane. Not sure about you guys, but for me, this is a first. Let me turn back. Got a flying AMS Live logo incoming. and you can clearly see some openings here and there. So those droplets that are falling, looks like it's going to be blowing over soon. One careful wipe of the lens and the droplets should be removed again. This is KLM flight 749-7879, a Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena, flight time 9 hours and 19 minutes. 7-year-old airplane, first flight August 2016. Hey Ton, goedemorgen. Danny, goedemorgen. Mario, guten Morgen. Rudolf, goedemorgen. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, welcome to the show. If I forgot to say hi, my apologies. Arrivals at Polderbaan today, and it's windy. Also, rain is expected later in the day. Once again, we've had rain yesterday, most of the day. Right now, a few droplets. I think most of it is over. So that's a good moment to give the lens a careful wipe. There were a few droplets on it. They should now once again have been removed. Let's also have a look at the meter, shall we? Wind is expected to increase later in the day, and I believe they even issued some weather warnings for strong wind along the coast, at least for the afternoon. So as the morning progresses, the wind is expected to increase. Okay, well, at the moment, Cavo K, 18 knot wind, 180 degrees, so headwind directly. Still a few droplets on my camera lens. Let me wipe them off. There we go. Much better. Hey Matt, good morning. Right, now this is even with everything locked. You can still see the camera is shaking. I've got image stabilizer already enabled. Still shaky footage. Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb, A319. Flight 450. Flight time 1 hour and 45 minutes. The airplane is 25 years old. First flight May 1998. Jørn, good morning. Good to see you. I see that. Oh, that's just a BizJet. I was about to say there's an airplane landing on the Oostbaan, runway, what is it, 22? But that is just an isolated BizJet. Right. Now, traffic density has become a bit less than the previous half hour. Next airplane to arrive is from Lufthansa, arriving from Munich, A319, flight 2302. Flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes. The airplane 13 years old, first flight September 2010. Hey there Aletta, good morning. Lufthansa flight 2302, A319. Well, the METAR said 18 knot wind from 180 degrees. The crabbing this airplane is doing tells me a different story. Looks like the wind is blowing a little bit from southwesterly direction. German butt shot coming in. But I have to fixate the camera, the tripod, otherwise the footage will be too shaky for you guys to see. Right, let's have a look. Got an Embraer 190 up next from KLM, arriving from London City. KLM flight 984. And what do we see? Where is it? This looks like a departure from 18 left, and I was also seeing... Where is it? A bit more. Huh. Airplane flying around, or a helicopter. Looks like a helicopter, but very far away already. Now, looking at the chimney smoke, it does look like the wind is more southwesterly than pure from the south. As you guys can see, the sky is not completely closed. This is where the wind is blowing from. It does look a bit more dark. Looking over there, not as dark as it was before the droplets fell. So I'm cautiously optimistic that it is going to stay dry now. But let's not jinx anything. This is KLM flight 984, Embraer 190, arriving from London City, flight time 34 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old, first flight was in July 2009. And Josegi, good morning, good to see you again. Hope all is well. Hope everybody is having a good Friday. Now I'm probably going to do a live stream on Monday, since next week Thursday I cannot go out to stream. Got a repairman coming later in the morning, so I figured that will be my day that I will also do some chores around the house, and instead go out on Monday then, instead of next week Thursday, weather permitting of course. Right, now KLM flight 601 climbing out to LAX. Where is it? I did see it a bit higher already, or let's see. There we go. Just taken off already at 9,500 feet, on its way to LAX. KLM flight 601. Now going into the clouds, it seems like. Just touching the lower parts of the cloud base. Now this is what the water looks like. Still got the fishing nets in it. And the Embraer that landed and arrived from London City nicely depicts the taxi route to the main platform area, to the terminal building. Right, we've got another batch of airplanes coming up. They're flying to the runway, to the glide slope. I think the first airplane to arrive is going to be UR Airlines, operated by BH Air, arriving from Iraq, Erbil, A320. And can I also show you the Delta flight that is on its way to Detroit? I'm looking around me. Yes, I do see it. Let me turn around the camera in the right orientation. Let's see. This would be Delta Airlines flight 135, Airbus A330-300, on its way to Detroit, following the same course as the Dreamliner we saw just now. "20-year-old airplane. So that is flying west of me. Visibility, as you guys can see, despite the cloudiness, is quite good. I also expect the upcoming traffic to become visible quite well in advance, so that's why I'm already carefully zooming in a little bit, but not too far. Keep it relatively wide, the shot. Gewema. Goedemorgen. Tony, goedemorgen. Let's see. Zooming out a little bit. I think we shoot somewhere from the right start seeing the A320 arriving from Erbil anytime soon. Or is it still too far away? Also looking on the laptop screen to see what you guys are seeing. Not really seeing it. Huh, okay. According to Flight Radar, it is approaching the glide slope from the right. Let's see if we see something when zoomed in. Maybe a bit more to the left. Nah. Oh, center has opened. It's on the glide slope to center. Okay. Now, can we pick it up when it is going to center? I think there it is. Looks like it's flying directly towards us. All right. Yeah, so center has also opened up. Let me adjust the ticker. Hey Remco, goedemorgen. Center also open. The next airplane to Polderbaan is also on the glide slope according to Flight Radar. Can we make that out already? Not sure that we can. Although it should be visible, probably with the lights on. Not sure if they have the lights on already. Hey RDW, Brussels Aviation, follow me Aviation. Alright, come on man, has to go. See you later. Now, where are you? There you are. Faint but visible. Perhaps number 2 is a bit better visible in a few minutes. A330 arriving from Minneapolis. The number 1 is a 737-800 arriving from London Heathrow. And we also have an A320neo from ITA Airways coming. Another airplane arriving from London Heathrow. Beautiful murmuration over here in the foreground. A 2-part murmuration, 3 parts, or even more. Beautiful. Not sure if we want these birds there. Well, that's no longer on the glide slope, so keep moving to the left, guys. Hey there Larry, good morning, good to see you. Alright, looking like it's going right for us is KLM flight 1002. 737-800 arriving from London Heathrow. Flight time 39 minutes. 15-year-old airplane, first flight December 2007. Hey there Kevin H, good morning. Speedbirds, indeed Niels. Behind it, Delta Airlines flight 162, Airbus A380-300 arriving from Minneapolis. Little bit of a yellowy orangey hue. Looks nice. This is where the wind is coming from. Also doesn't look too bad. Overcast, but as you can see, definitely some lighter spots here and there. Not the densest area of clouds, so that should mean good things in terms of precipitation. Center now getting a bit more busy. Two airplanes coming to the Polderbaan. In the foreground, Delta Airlines flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis. Behind it is Speedbird flight, what is it, 430 arriving from London Heathrow, A320. Hey there, HK215, good morning. Alright, British Airways flight 430 coming up next. Airbus A320. Behind it is ITA Airways arriving from Rome, A320neo. Hey there Barbs, good morning. Right. A320 British Airways flight 430, flight time 42 minutes, arriving from London Heathrow. 13-year-old airplane, first flight May 2010. Is that a third airplane already visible. I think it might be E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Zurich. Well, the wind is headwind mostly. There is a crosswind component, but the wind is mostly coming head on. Haven't seen any go-arounds just yet. Unless it becomes really gusty or the wind changes significantly in direction, I'm not expecting any go-arounds. Of course, you never know. Good morning, Michelle. Good to see you again. Now, A320neo up next for Polderbaan. Here to an A320neo. This one arriving from Prague. And the one from Ita coming to the Polderbaan will be arriving from Rome. Little wind gust, and looks like the gust has also arrived at the A320. Good morning, Hops. Good morning, Andre. Do hear some things sounding like it's coming from behind me, but I'm not seeing the bird controller. Oh. Livens up the day, particularly when it's grey. And we get an Italian butt shot. Bellissima. Hey Martijn, goedemorgen. Chunky, good morning. All right. E2 Embraer 195 coming up next, arriving from Zurich, KLM flight 1954. Flight time 1 hour and 10 minutes. Two-year-old airplane, first flight October 2021. Hey Arnoud, goedemorgen. Well, This is what things look like over here right now. Actually, quite a few light spots further out. This is looking to the west. Now to the south, we do see the bird controller. And is it raining there? Interesting, having the windscreen wipers on. Looks very much dry to me over here. But there you go. Turning further to the east. Back to the north. There is an airplane ahead of us. And a second one at 7 o'clock of the first one. Let's have a look. Air Transat A321neo arriving from Montreal would be the first airplane to arrive, and the second one, oh wow, we can see out to even almost Alkmaar. A320neo EasyJet arriving from London Gatwick. I'm going to have another look at the METAR, see what the wind is doing. Definitely not pure 180 degrees, the wind. Right, the METAR says 190 degrees and 16 knots. Interesting. I am pasting it as we speak. Adjust the font size and there you go. METAR updated. So if you're unfamiliar with the code that is now coming on the ticker, that is the weather. It's from the 13th. That is today. 8:25Z means 8:25 Zulu time. Zulu time is Greenwich Mean Time, so that's 8:25 local time, 10:25 local time. Then the wind, 190, 16 kT means 16 knot wind from 190 degrees. 9999 means visibility 10 kilometers or more. Few clouds at 4,000 feet, temperature 19 degrees, dew point 17 degrees, the air pressure is 1,003 hectopascals, and no significant changes in the weather are expected in the upcoming 2 hours. Right, got a couple of airplanes visible. Beautiful wide angle visualization of the glide slope. 3 airplanes coming in. 2 A321neos and 1 A320neo sandwiched in between. Air Transat, EasyJet and JetBlue. Wel Ton, hopelijk begint de regen pas voor de A380. Photo for you informing us that rain is expected over here around 1 p.m, which is also around the time the A380 is expected. But then again, an hour ago there was rain expected around 12, so you can see how quickly things change in the weather forecast for the upcoming hours. Hey Gerrit, goedemorgen. Hey Bishop, good morning, who says, great channel and nicely explained. Thank you so much. Glad you're liking the show. Hope everybody is. Most importantly, I hope that everybody is having some fun on the go. This is the wrong airplane I'm clicking on. Air Transat, flight 324, A321neo, arriving from Montreal, Canada. Now touching down after 6.5 hours of flight. Will it use the reversers? It does. Spray. Nice. And what's that? Air Malta. Parallel. Landing on center. Let's have a quick look at the Air Transat taking the first exit. And indeed, Tom, it isn't cold today, that's for sure. It is expected to change in the upcoming days, so gotta get the gloves out and make sure that the hand warmer is fully charged. A320neo arriving from London Gatwick. Flight time 42 minutes, nothing out of the ordinary. A one-year-old airplane that had its first flight in July 2022. This looks like an idle reverse landing. Spray production, of course, the telltale sign. Runway is still wet. Bird controller has a front row seat. Got another 3 airplanes visible. Hey Evan, good morning buddy, good to see you again. My week outside of aviation has been so-so. Made some progress in the backyard. Happy about that. But otherwise quite uneventful actually. But maybe that's a good thing. Hope everything is doing. I need some coffee. Hope everything is going well over there in California, Evan. This is JetBlue A321 arriving from Boston. I'm in need of coffee, but I only brought water along. Hey Maria, goedemorgen. Of goedenavond. Is it evening already or is it still late afternoon? Probably evening already. And Niels, they don't land from the other side. So from this side the runway does not get used for landings. Polderbaan only gets used to the north or from the north. So airplanes take off to that direction or they land from this direction to that direction. Has to do with the noise the airplanes make and people living in the vicinity. Right, yet another 3 airplanes visible already. First up is an Embraer 175 from KLM, arriving from Norwich, flight 1516. Departed from Norwich 32 minutes ago. 6-year-old airplane, first flight June 2017. Got the bigger bird following it. Now, despite the windy conditions, for some reason following the airplanes goes relatively smoothly. Hopefully, by saying this out loud, I'm not going to jinx it, but... And what do we have over here? Is that Russell? Looks like it. You guys can see better than I can, but I think it might be Russell. Hey Frank, goedemorgen. Dave, good morning. The next airplane to arrive is KLM Flight 696, arriving from Toronto, Canada. It is a 7879 Dreamliner, has been flying for 6.5 hours. 6-year-old airplane, first flight August 2017. The airplane behind it is a 737-800, arriving from Birmingham, also from KLM. More Embraers going to center. This would be an Embraer 175 that is coming back home from Gothenburg. KLM flight 1154. Flight time 1 hour and 24 minutes. The airplane is 6 years old, first flight January 2017. And Frank, I have two with me, and since the grass is pretty soaked over here, I'm also wearing my wellies. Got my sneakers with me so that once I'm back at the car I can switch to my clean sneakers, but swampy grassland season has begun, so it's time to get the wellies out. Right, 737 just landed over here, arriving from Birmingham. KLM style landing. Vacate late, sooner to the gate. Hey there Grant, good evening. Welcome to the show. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, welcome to you too. You're watching Arrivals over here at AMS Live. My name is Boy and we have some wind today. Departures take place from runway 24. This would be an A380-200 from KLM going to Sint Maarten. A flight at some point we all probably want to be on. Right, well, Mark says to keep an eye out on his ducks. It seems that I have failed already. We only saw one lady duck earlier and she has gone all ninja on us and is hiding. Not seeing any bird life in the water as I'm looking around. No, peninsula is also empty. Are there some birds in the water further south? Doesn't look like it. Does look like the bird controller has all the lights on and is doing an inspection on the runway. And even the pickup truck creates a little spray as it's driving over the tarmac of the runway. Means that we might have to wait a few minutes for the next traffic to runway 18 right. Inbound traffic in the meantime is continuing to runway center. Over here we have a Transavia 737 arriving from Verona. Oh, it's a good chance to hear the sound effects. Predator bird sounds. Well, at least just now. Do it again. Come on. Hope you guys picked that up as it was still quite far away and there's also wind rumbling interfering with what you can hear today. And what is that? Looked like a light flashing from the corner of my eye, but the bird controller is still doing the round on the runway. FFC Festa, good morning. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Right. So now the weather forecast is updated. 1:45, a bit of rain. Can we see airplanes approaching already? There should be an Embraer 190 arriving from Bristol. And the Dreamliner arriving from LAX is also approaching the glide slope. I think we see the Embraer already. Not sure if we can also see the Dreamliner in the distance. I'm not seeing it yet. And thank you so much, FFC Festa, for 1 month of membership. Congratulations, and thank you for your continued support. FFC Festa writes, time flies, a month already, great work. Well, thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying. Hope everybody is. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like if you haven't done so already, and also if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing that. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I go live. Green Tea God, goedemorgen. This time from Paris, okay. Going away for the weekend or business? Doing a little scanning around to see if we can pick up the Dreamliner already. I'm fully zoomed in already, not seeing... Oh wait, oh, haha. Yeah. So that was the Dreamliner already. Still got parallel arrivals, I think still 20 minutes or so. That is typically around 11:40 is typically when they close the center runway again. The fact that they did a runway check just now also typically precedes the closure of the other runway. One last check to see that the runway is clear to be used as only runway for arrivals. So we'll probably see all traffic coming to Polderbaan again quite soon. And then typically just between 1:45 and 1 o'clock they reopen the secondary runway again. And that is typically an indication that the A380 is coming. The A380 today expected around 1 p.m. so hopefully we will be able to capture it while staying dry. Time will tell. It is a standard livery. Third airplane has also entered the glide slope further to the north at 7 o'clock. In the bottom third and in the leftmost third of the screen you should be able to see it on the same level as the Embraer in the foreground. Alright, Embraer 190 in the SkyTeam livery, arriving from Bristol, KLM flight 1050. Flight time 47 minutes, 11-year-old airplane, first flight April 2012. Camouflage colors for your average Dutch weather. We do get to see a butt shot. Hey Roy, goedemorgen. Happy Friday 13th. May everybody have a lucky day despite the date and day of the week. Ah, nice green tea, God. Business and pleasure mixed together. Goed bezig. Alright, flying AMS Live logo, arrival from Las Vegas, KLM flight 636, 787-10 Dreamliner. And Russell photo bombing the shot. Flight time 9 hours 24 minutes. The airplane 3 years old. First flight May 2020. Hey Ross, good morning. K4 sounding the horn, also saying hi. Wow, Follow Me Aviation, the sunscreen knows of that Embraer has changed. It is now actually grey, so it doesn't just look grey, it has been painted grey. Took a little while. For a while it looked like the airplane had its nose up in some white stuff. Now you can still see the color difference. Apparently they ran out of the same exact color, but it looks better than it did before. Well, at least it looks more in line with the rest of the livery now. Right, airplane arriving from Lyon, flying downwind. We can't see it due to the clear sky below the clouds. Of course, picking it up. There we go. So that is an airplane we are going to see land in a few minutes. It is flying downwind. Embraer 175 arriving from Lyon. First up, arriving from Edinburgh, it is KLM Flight 1278 737-800. Flight time 1 hour and 4 minutes. And what does the windsock look like? It is moving back and forth a little bit. Definitely windy, in case you hadn't noticed yet. An FFC Vesta just brought the car to in for the MOT. Well, it's Friday the 13th, so hopefully the MOT will go smoothly. Visualization of the glide slope, 2 airplanes visible. Embraer 190 arriving from Manchester, Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle. And I think this might be the last airplane landing on center. I'm not seeing any other airplanes going there. But what is the... Right, no. The Embraer 175 arriving from Lyon. For a moment it looked like it was going to overshoot the glide slope, but looks like it is turning. Ross asks, do you think any of the pilots know of the stream? Well, I know for a fact, if you look in the comments of the recent streams, there are some pilots that get back to me saying, oh, you filmed me. In one particular instance, we had the captain of Turkish when it was so windy, telling us that it was the co-pilot who was the pilot flying, and it was his first landing in Amsterdam, also with these windy conditions, and I think even on the airplane type. So what a way to start your career. So I know for a fact that some of the pilots do know of the stream, because they do reach out, if not in the comments, then via Instagram or other channels. Okay, I spoke too soon. It looks like the Embraer 175 we saw just now is for some reason going to center. Don't know why. And this is German Airways flying for KLM, Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle. KLM flight 954, 51 minutes of flight time. The airplane is 14 years old, first flight January 2009. And you're absolutely right, reticent guy. It sometimes looks like they are showboating, particularly when it comes to the wheelies. German butt shot coming in. Hey Guy, good morning. Good to see you again. Dave, good morning. Peter, goedemorgen, good morning. Or Peter. Right. So that Embraer 175 is going to center for some reason. We can see it coming. Embraer 190 arriving from Frankfurt also. Going to center. Right. Now, between now and 10 minutes from now, typically they close the center runway and all traffic will come to this runway again until approximately 1 o'clock. Looks like the first next airplane to Polderbaan has just turned onto the glide slope. Delta A330 arriving from Detroit. Let's have a look and see if we can spot it already. I think we might be able to do that, as you guys can see for the time being. Also, this is in the direction of the wind. For the time being, it looks okay. Just windy, but you could almost see some openings of blue sky between the clouds. And there is our A330 Delta Airlines Flight 136. Got another A330 arriving from Bonaire. Sandwiched in between is going to be a Transavia 737-800 arriving from Ibiza. And in the meantime, thank you so much FFC Festa for gifting an AMS Live membership. And Denny, congratulations, you were gifted the membership by FFC Festa. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Right. A330 making its way over. Looking at it, you can see how much it is turned to the left for us. Gears going down, beautiful. And the 737 should also be on the glide slope already. Let's lower the camera a little bit. Thinking we should be able to see it a bit lower. Maybe a smidge of zoom out. Does that do anything? Doesn't look like it. Why am I not seeing that number 2 airplane? Well, huh, odd. It's as if it is in the clouds. Where is it going to center? No, it is on the glide slope for Polderbaan. Also visible, or should be visible theoretically further out, is the second A330 turning onto the glide slope from the left. Which, okay, there's number 2, so I think that there are clouds in the way further to the north, preventing us from seeing the second A330. Oh wait, there it is, at 6 to 7 o'clock, lower of number 2. Awesome. Hey there, Georgios, good morning, good to see you again. Hope all is well in Greece. Alrighty. So this is Delta Airlines, flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Airbus A330-300 has been flying for nearly 7 hours, 6 hours and 57 minutes. 17 years old, this one. First flight October 2006. Oh, Delta butt shot coming in. It is turning to the left, or is it? No. Delayed butt shot coming in then. Well, Jackie, I had Greek in high school. So I do know the Greek alphabet, but I don't understand Greek. Definitely not. Same with Russian. I do know a chunk of the Russian alphabet, so I am able to decipher a name often, but I don't speak any Russian. Next up, Transavia. Flight 5672, arriving from Ibiza. Boeing 737-800, flight time 2 hours and 15 minutes. The airplane 23 years old, first flight April 2000, and behind it is a KLM Airbus A330-300, KLM flight 765. Coming back home from Bonaire after a flight of 9 hours exactly at the moment. Cool, I don't speak Indian, sorry to disappoint you there. Unfortunately, I don't. Temp account, Rosa, good morning. Right, wow, this is where the wind is coming from. It still looks decent for the time being. Still arrivals to center. Now luckily big birds for now coming our way. The A330 arriving from Bonaire is followed by a 777-300 arriving from Curacao, so ABC Island traffic incoming. This A330 now has been flying for 9 hours and 2 minutes. It is 11 years old. First flight February 2012. Then SAS CRJ going to center by the looks of it. All white, ghost livery / wedding dress livery, depending on which way you look at it. Now back to the traffic going to Polderaan, 777 time. KLM flight 736 arriving from Willemstad, Curacao. Now, interestingly, this airplane has only been flying for 8 hours and 38 minutes. And if you look on the map, Aruba and Bonaire and Curacao are not that far away from each other, so not far apart, I should say. So it's interesting to see that this airplane has been flying for a shorter 20 minutes less. You would think that the flight times would be comparable, more comparable at least. I don't speak Frisian. Each time I look at Omroep Friesland, I think, okay, I think I recognize one word and the rest is just mumbo jumbo for me. It's a good thing that they sometimes translate, put subtitles under the programs, otherwise I wouldn't be able to follow it. Not that I am an avid watcher of regional TV channels, but I do sometimes scroll past it. Come on, put those reversers in action. Oh man. Such a waste of good spray. All right. I'm curious to see when center is going to close again. Normally speaking, it is around now that they go back to a single runway for arrivals. Now, cool, talking about pencil plane, I do believe that the pencil in the 100 years independence livery is still coming. The 757-300 from Icelandair, if I recall correctly. 2 Embraers coming in. And then looks like another triple is expected, arriving from Vancouver. There it is. Nice triangle. Slowly moving, shifting. Arriving from Southampton, KLM flight 916, Embraer 190, flight time 49 minutes. The airplane age 13 years, first flight January 2010. A little butt shot coming in. Next up, KLM flight 986, arriving from London City. And EasyJet approaching center, the Neo. Oh, we have activity in the water, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look. Wow, the whole squad. I'm counting 3 lady ducks and 2 gentleman ducks. Or is it 3 gentleman ducks and 2 lady ducks? The quackers are awake. Don't know where they all of a sudden appeared from, but they're here. That's the most important thing. Right, another Embraer 190 arriving from London City, flight time 36 minutes, 5-year-old airplane. Oh, and the ducks are now doing a flyby, information. Yeah, and the Embraer has landed safely. Let's have a look at the big bird, shall we? Hey Liewe, goedemorgen kerel. Alles goed? Danny, goedemiddag. Is it afternoon already? Almost. Another SkyTeam livery KLM airplane coming up. This one a bit bigger than the previous one. 777-300 arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Flight 682. Flight time 8 hours and 28 minutes. This particular airplane, 14 years old, first flight August 2009. But yeah, dare I say it, I even see a few patches of blue sky out further to the north. Now of course, that doesn't say a thing about the upcoming hours. Come on, use those reversers. Come on. It's not too late yet. Alright, well now the moment has passed. Pity. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost playtime. Number 2 is playtime. And just a little bit of blue here and there, or open sky I should say. A few holes in the clouds. However, bear in mind the wind is coming from this direction in general sense. This is where we need to look to see the upcoming weather. For now it still looks good. Hopefully it's going to stay that way for a while. KLM 737-800 arriving from Stockholm. First up, followed by play. This is KLM flight 1106 and the airplane has been flying now for nearly 2 hours, an hour and 53 minutes, according to flight radar, to get from Stockholm to where it is right now. The airplane is 12 years old. First flight was in May 2011. And indeed, Gimema, time to get out the shorts. Shorts with Wellingtons. That makes for a nice combo. How's the voiceover today, folks? I decided to go back to using the lavalier mic, which I can tape to the bottom of my cap, but also pointed towards me. I hope it makes the volume more constant, as with windy conditions I noticed with just using the DJI mic, which was pointing outward because of the orientation of the clip, that it sometimes sounded a bit more muted. Alright, audio is spot on, Paul says. Thanks for the feedback, bro. That sounds good. What are they doing over here? Well, this man is walking his dog. That's a bit more apparent. Alright, thank you, Paul. Oh, other Paul, also for the feedback. Voiceover 5-star. Cool. I will listen it back. I'm hoping this will make better quality under windy conditions. I think it was particularly when it was windy, with the DJI mic clipped and pointing to the outside, it got exposed to the wind more than the lavalier mic does, which is now under my cap, also a bit more shielded from the wind, pointing inward to my face. And I think that even the fluffy thing around it is a bit bigger. This is playtime. Arriving from Reykjavik, A321neo, flight 460, touching down after 2 hours and 34 minutes. The only downside of using the lavalier mic is that the voiceover sounds a bit less clear, I think, than using the DJI mic only, but a small trade-off. Playtime butt shot. That's 2 emojis you can use. Playtime butt shot. Now, thanks to all the members who already casted their vote. Unfortunately, I was only able to make polls with 5 options. I wanted to do a single poll, so what I will do, voting you can still do if you haven't done so for the new emoji. You can still vote until Wednesday. What I will do is just have a look at the number of votes casted per poll, and then of course multiply the percentage, and you can see which has the absolute highest number of votes. The one with the highest absolute number of votes will win. And in order to facilitate enough time for all members, the poll will continue until Wednesday. After that, the end of the afternoon, beginning of the evening local time, I will have a look and see which option has gotten the most votes, and we'll go to work. German Airways flying for KLM, Embraer 190 arriving from Glasgow, flight 1474. It has sunglasses on, but what for beats me. Not a whole lot of sun today over here. Oh my. Where's the WD-40? Now there's a first, an Embraer with squeaky brakes. Alright, Lane. See you later. Thanks for joining, Lane. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Well, looking on flight radar, it seems that the center runway has now in fact closed. That's good news. Another indication is of course A388 arriving from China as number 2. Before that, this Embraer 175 arriving from Humberside. It's KLM flight 1486. Flight time 35 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. First flight January 2018. Oh, is it the third double triple? Nice ball. Yeah, you're right. Of course, I only have a small postage stamp size bit of screen dedicated to flight radar, so I'm not too far zoomed out, otherwise hard to see what's what. But the third double triple. And Follow Me Aviation asks if KLM took over German Airways. No, they didn't. They just leased a couple of Embraer 190s from them back when the E2 Embraers were having engine problems and a big chunk of their fleet was grounded. At some point the lease will end, but I do believe someone said recently in the chat when the item was also brought up that the lease was extended, so I think at least until the end of winter, but don't pin me down on that. Still a few more months of Embraer 190s from German Airways that we are going to see fly for KLM, but the E2 fleet is now fully functional again, so it's only going to be temporary still. Right, double triple, and triple number 1 is China Southern Cargo, flight 2573 arriving from Guangzhou. Flight time over half a day, folks, 12 hours and 17 minutes. Imagine that. It was already airborne before I went to bed. Now, I did go to bed late last night. Granted, but still. This airplane is 14 years old, first flight August 2009. Will it use reversers then? Will we get some spray? Yes. Spray and audio. What more could you want? Wonderful. Well, this is what it looks like in the direction of the wind right now. So yeah. Let's see if maybe after this airplane has landed I have some time to update the ticker. There's probably a new meter, and I also have to get rid of 18C as runway for arrivals. That is outdated, as you guys can see on flight radar. Hey Veerle, leef je nog? Good to see you again. It has been a while. Alright. This is another 777 from KLM, arrival from Panama City. KLM flight 758, 777-300ER, flight time 9 hours and 40 minutes. Now, will it follow its predecessor's example? Nah. So much potential gone to waste. But there you go. Right, now, got a few moments before the next airplane will touch down, so while you guys can enjoy its arrival, let me update the ticker. First up, let's remove 18C as arrival runway, and let's find that meter. Interesting that there's minor rain in the latest meter, because I'm not seeing it. Right, there we go. Now, I will take you through the meter in a moment. First, let's have a look at the landing of this Embraer 190 KLM flight 988, arriving from London City. Flight time 38 minutes, 13-year-old airplane, first flight March 2010. Maybe Veerle recognized the co-pilot. Too bad that the wind is prohibiting. Very smooth following today, but there you go. Another triplet of airplanes visible in the same shot. Hey there, Yin Cathay spotter. Good afternoon. Just turned afternoon over here. Evan asks, can you explain the KLM Asia thing? Well, I don't know the exact details for airplanes visible. I think it has to do with being able to fly on Taiwan. And if KLM wants to do that, it needed a separate company to do so. Because I think if KLM flew to Taiwan, then it wouldn't be able to fly to China or something. But don't take my word for it, I am relatively uninformed about it. I do know that because it is a subsidiary, officially it's not royal and doesn't have the crown, which you can see above the KLM letters over here. I think it had to do with being able to service Taiwan and the geopolitical implications it might have if KLM itself were doing that. Alright, Frobisher is confirming that. Hey Daan, goedemorgen. Ali, good morning. Right. 4 airplanes visible, glide slope visualized beautifully. Let me see if I can also take you through the METAR. So 130925Z means the 13th, and 925 Zulu is the date of the report. So the date and time. 925 Zulu time means 1125 Central European time. 218 KT means that the wind is 18 knots from 200 degrees. 9999 means visibility 10 kilometers or more. Minus RA means minor rain, and NSC means no significant clouds. 20/16 means temperature is 20 degrees and the dew point is 16 degrees in Celsius. Now, A321neo arriving from Istanbul, Pegasus flight 1251. Flight time 3 hours and 18 minutes, so it looks like it had a bit of headwind underway. Normally Istanbul, Amsterdam about 3 hours, so this time 20 minutes longer. Brand new airplane, first flight was in January this year, so less than a year old. Now the minor rain that was mentioned in the METAR, I haven't felt it. No significant clouds means at the lower levels, because obviously you guys can see it is overcast mostly. The weather report is always talking about the part relevant for the airfield, and that means it doesn't look at what is up at 15,000 feet, but I think up to 7,000 feet or so. Look at that, patches of blue. Hopefully the camera can convey it, but I see it visually at least. It is otherwise quiet. We have one gentleman on the couch sitting there, has been for a while, and I think we are the only two other than the man walking his dog and the working people over there. Right, 3 airplanes in view. Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds, coming up next. KLM flight 1542. Embraer 190. Flight time thus far 47 minutes. A 13-year-old airplane that had its first flight in January 2010. E2 Embraer 195 behind it, and we have Delta A330 arriving as number 3. So while I am busy filming, did anybody by any chance have a look at Radar, and is anybody able to tell me what the expected rain is doing right now. It was around 1 p.m. Early in the morning it was around 12 that rain was expected. Last update I got from the chat was 12:45. At the moment it all still looks quiet in terms of precipitation in the vicinity. Next up is KLM flight 1330, E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Aalborg. And the Delta A330 is behind it, grabbing their way to the runway. Now this airplane in the foreground should have a 1700 E-Jet sticker on it. If I recall correctly, it was on the front of the fuselage. Let's see if we can spot it. Flight time was 1 hour and 12 minutes. And this E2 is a year old, first flight September 2022, so it just celebrated its first birthday last month. And where is that sticker? I'm not seeing it yet. Is it on the back? Or is it on the other side? No, that's not it. Okay. So much for that sticker. We do get to see a butt shot and have a look at the engines. You can see right through them. High bypass, extremely high bypass. In the right light, in the right angle, you can almost see through them. Ah, the sticker's on the other side. Thanks, Veerle. Just a unilateral sticker then. Alright, Delta Airlines flight 164 is up next. Airbus A330-300 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Flight time 7 hours and 32 minutes. The next airplane is behind it in the top left corner. The A330 is 16 years old. Began flying in January of the year 2007. Delta A330s have the potential to get loud. They also have the potential to do wheelies. Now, considering the wind, I'm not sure if we are going to see the latter, but let's hope for a bit of reverser action and maybe some spray. Bouncy. That's a good start. Oh, we do get a wheelie. I think I only heard the reverser spool up momentarily. Now, when you have a look at that, it almost looks like the sun is trying to get through the clouds. Meanwhile, Sally is also flying over here. Sally the seagull, doing some evasive maneuvers, trying to ditch the camera. Now looking to the southwest, more blue patches in the sky, more openings. So that looks good. Four airplanes, one shot. Embraer 190, Embraer 175, 737-800 and A320. Servus Andreas, tuning in from Austria. Number 4 is arriving from Vienna, Austrian Airlines. Another German Airways Embraer 190 flying for KLM, flight 1060 arriving from Cardiff. Flight time 54 minutes. 15-year-old airplane. Had its first flight in January 2008, making it as old as Chucky and the Orange Pride. They all started flying in January 2008. German butt shot. There we go. Spoilers go down. Will we see the flaps retract? Yeah. Nice. TUI Dreamliner taking off to Curaçao in the distance. Took off from runway 24, the Kaagbaan. And next up is number 175 arriving from Darlington or Teesside, KLM flight 1534. 52 minutes of flight time, and the airplane is 6 years old. First flight February 2017. Oh. Now the sun is nearly out here. Almost peeking through. Sally is doing a runway inspection from the sky. KLM flight 1008 arriving from London Heathrow. Alright, Austrian Airlines flight 379 up next, arriving from Vienna. And behind it is a 777 arriving from Lima, Peru. Austrian flight 379 has been flying for 1 hour and 33 minutes as we speak. It's an A320, 20 years old already. The first flight was in January 2003. Austrian butt-shot is coming up next. Beautiful lighting as well. Alright, next up, KLM flight 744, which of course is not a Boeing 744. I wish it were, but it is a 777-300ER arriving from Lima, Peru. Long flight. This airplane has been on the way now for 11 hours and 38 minutes. The airplane itself, 6 years old, first flight February of the year 2017. And two more airplanes already visible, top left corner of the screen. And tempo count, I think it is a running gag from KLM. Flight 767 being flown by an A330. Stuff like that. It's just an inside joke. Make sure to drop a like if you haven't done so already and you're liking the content. And consider subscribing if you want to stay updated of upcoming streams. Make sure to hit the bell icon when you do. Next up is an A320neo from EasyJet arriving from London Luton. It's going to be followed by Shamrock arriving from Dublin. And another EasyJet A320 arriving from Edinburgh. Now there's also another 777 arriving from Atlanta that is flying downwind. Which I think might be number 5. Unless I'm missing other traffic even ahead of it. No. So this is EasyJet flight 22515 arriving from London Luton, A320neo, flight time 38 minutes. The airplane is 4 years old, first flight December 2018. Hey there Mohammed, good to see you. Welcome all viewers. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. A lot of folk are in the chat and a lot of them are very knowledgeable and all of them are very kind. Hey there Incubus, good evening, tuning in from Melbourne. Mateus, good day, good to see you again. EasyJet butt-shot, and let's quickly turn back for Shamrock flight 604, Aer Lingus A320 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Flight time has been 1 hour and 5 minutes thus far. Hadi Huub, goedemiddag. Now Love Planes needs to go, unfortunately. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Hope to see you again soon. Alright, Follow Me Aviation updates us about the whereabouts of the A380 from Emirates. It is now flying over Bavaria. Hey, John Hakon, good afternoon. I was about to say good morning. Quick pan back to the north and have a look at the next airplane. Almost touching down already, arriving from Edinburgh. A320 EasyJet. Flight time 1 hour and 7 minutes. This airplane 11 years old. First flight February 2012. Now, despite the windy conditions, none of the airplanes we've seen so far has had any severe trouble putting the airplane on the ground. Not a lot of tiptoeing, definitely no go-arounds unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for us the spectators of course, but happily not necessary for the passengers. Alright, let's have a look. Right, the triple from Atlanta is on the glide slope, number 2. Preceding it is an Embraer 190 KLM arriving from Hanover. It is a KLM Embraer, it's not Chucky unfortunately. KLM flight 1904. Flight time 46 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old. First flight October 2009. And another 777-300ER behind it, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Nozzle Kingdom is asking if there are live streams planned for this weekend. Weather permitting, I am planning on going out each day. Think yesterday was the worst day. No chance to go out at all. But I think as of tomorrow the weather, it gets colder, but it should also get drier and more sunny. It's not going to be completely dry, but as far as I could tell, we should have an opportunity to go out on each day of the weekend. Plus I'm also planning on going out on Monday, because on Thursday next week I won't be able to go out because there's a repairman coming in the middle of the day. K4 has been replaced with K3 in the meantime. And here is KLM flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 777-300ER, flight time 7 hours and 31 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old. First flight was in May 2009. Hey Johanna, goedemiddag. Hans, goedemiddag. Alright, now will the pilots use the reversers or will it fizzle out? Here an airplane from KLM Asia, as you can see, no crown on it. these are the airplanes that are allowed to fly to Taiwan. Gerrit asks if it is still dry over here. Definitely. You can see a patch of blue sky there. The wind is coming from this general direction. Thus far it looks a-okay. Now in, what is it, 30 minutes or so? Emirates flight 147, the A380, the daily flight is expected. Hopefully we can make it until then. Two airplanes are approaching. Not seeing I don't see them visually yet, but they are underway. Gives me a moment to have a quick look at the weather radar. Let's have a look and see what it looks like right now. Okay, well, we could clearly see some more dark sky north and west of us, which is also what the weather radar is indicating. There we have precipitation, but it is passing us by and not over us. So let's have a look at the 3-hour extrapolation, and now the latest extrapolation says rain commencing around 10 past 1 or so. So hopefully we can manage to film the landing of the A380 and wrap up after then. Follow Me Aviation says that the Emirates A380 is expected in 38 minutes, still over Bavaria. Well, if it starts drizzling by then, that's okay. Hey, gefeliciteerd Gerrit. Gerrit has to go to celebrate his birthday. Happy birthday, Gerrit. Hey Benny, goedemiddag. Alright, two airplanes according to flight radar are coming. I'm not seeing anything yet. This is the general area where they should become visible once they've cleared the clouds. I think they're still in the clouds. Oh wait, there's the first one. Right, and the second one is also visible just left of the first one. And are we also seeing a third one enter from the left, or is that just me? Thought I saw something, but now I don't, so probably was nothing, or maybe a bird or something. Right, Embraer 175 arriving from Stuttgart. Number 1, KLM flight 1870. Flight time 1 hour and 6 minutes. There's definitely wind blowing, you can tell. 6-year-old airplane, first flight May 2017. And behind it is the first Vueling of today, I think. Or at least I don't recall having seen Vueling earlier in the stream today. Arriving from Alicante. think there's a butt shot coming. Spoilers down. Will we see the flaps retract before it makes the right hand turn? And I guess we don't. Okay. Next up is Vueling flight 1377. Hey there Danny, hey there Frits. Welcome one and all. Windy conditions today at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, as you guys can see. Mostly from the south, a little bit from the west, hence the crabbing. We haven't seen any go-arounds yet. We've seen two 747s, one of which I have never seen before on Schiphol. If you missed it, I will timestamp the highlights, including the 747s, once I get home from streaming today. If you want to save some time, check in later if you want to see them. And also a Spanish butt shot to boot. Niels has to go. Work is waiting. Thanks for joining, Niels. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope to see you again during the weekend. And if not, then hopefully sometime soon. Now, Benny, I don't know exactly when the special 747 was. I do believe both landed in the first hour of the stream. And it was the second one, I think it was around 10 a.m., 10 to 10:30 a.m. Next up, KLM flight 1186 arriving from Bergen, 737-700. And another 737-700 arriving from Milan is behind it. Hey there PA Aviation, good afternoon and good morning for you. It is Pedro who has flown back to the United States. So it's an early morning for you then. Well, likewise, it was a pleasure meeting you and I'm looking forward to your footage. So have a look at PA Aviation's channel if you have the time for it. He was here from the United States for the weekend, filming, making a compilation. It's probably going to take some time to do all the editing, but it was a windy weekend, so that should make for some nice footage. Stubby little 737 with the relatively big tail. It's a one-size-fits-all solution that Boeing has chosen. And because the fuselage is so stubby, it makes the tail look relatively big in comparison with the other bigger brothers or sisters. And if you say, I like how that looked, here's a rerun. And GMMA is sharing a wonderful moment that is happening in the northwest of the country. The sun is shining over there. H1 bird control vehicle just passed by. A van. But it does say bird control on the side. So don't be fooled, it is a bird control vehicle. Right, arriving from Milan, KLM flight 1620, Boeing 737-700, flight time 1 hour and 19 minutes. The airplane is 13 years old. First flight of this airplane was in November of the year 2009. Hopefully after this airplane has landed, I'll have a few moments to update the ticker. Curious to see what the wind has been doing in the meantime. We've got an Icelandair Max 8 coming in first. But I do believe we get the special livery, the Independence livery 757-300 as well. So it probably will not be far behind. Let me see if I can quickly copy paste the latest meter into the ticker for you guys and see what the wind has been doing. Doesn't feel like it has been slowing down. I'm curious to see what the direction is. Okay, 200 degrees, 19 knot wind. Still CAV okay. 21 degrees Celsius it is right now, ladies and gentlemen. So that is 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Quite warm for nearly mid-October. I'm pasting the meter as we speak. Have to adjust the font, color and style. There we go. Boom. Hey Tim, goedemiddag, good afternoon. So, latest meter, now scrolling by in the ticker from 10:25 Zulu time, so that's 12:25 local time. Wind, 19 knot wind, 200 degrees, so there is wind from the southwest, southwest, yeah. Still CAV okay, so ceiling and visibility are okay. 21 degrees Celsius, dew point 16 degrees Celsius, air pressure 1001 hectopascals, and no significant changes in the weather expected in the upcoming 2 hours. Alright, back to the action. Icelandair flight 506, 737 Max 8 arriving from Reykjavik. Flight time 2 hours and 33 minutes, so that seems nominal. A 5-year-old airplane that had its first flight in June 2018. New livery, nice and sterile. If that's what you're into, you'll like this. There's a little bit of a grey nose. Not sure if that is intentional or if the nose cone got replaced and hasn't been painted yet. Or is that the same? No, that's pink. Pinkish. I'm color vision deficient, right people? Otherwise I would have probably been flying on one of those machines, so my assessment of reds and greens is insufficient. So to me it looks like a pinkish color, but if you see it differently, that's okay. I have my excuse. Hey there, Aeolus Capital. Goedemiddag, good afternoon. Indeed, Adam, it does look a bit like a clown's nose. Now, this is the first time it is getting a bit more dark, looking in the direction of the wind, so I do believe that precipitation is coming. The question is, how long will we keep it dry for? The first coot of the day also has shown itself. It does look like it is a solitary coot. I'm not seeing any other birds in the vicinity. Oh wait, I do believe I see something. No, that's just a net. Optical illusion. Back to the action. The next airplane, Vueling A320neo, arriving from Barcelona, flight 8309. I'm wondering, with the persisting wind and the lack of precipitation over the last couple of hours, that if airplanes were to apply the reverse thrust, how much spray would still be produced. I think a lot has evaporated already because of the constant wind. and warm temperature. And that looks like a Transavia 737 taking to the skies. Benny has looked it up. The Special Queen lands at 10:23 local time. So if you look in the bottom left corner of the ticker, you can see the time. If you want to see that Special Queen, well, it wasn't a special livery, it was just an operator that doesn't frequent Schiphol that often. But have a go and look at 10:23 AM. Next up is EasyJet flight 27808 arriving from Milan. A319, flight time 1 hour and 34 minutes. 14-year-old airplane, first flight September 2009. Tippy-toey, but a solid landing nonetheless. And it's Austrian registered OE, so this would be an Alpine. Hey there, Steve88. Good afternoon to you too. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Anders asks if it was claret, the color. I don't know. I have no idea what the color claret looks like, so I am unable to answer that question, unfortunately. Alright, I do see air traffic now looking to come to the center runway, so it has opened up again. Time to update the ticker in that respect. That also is an indication that the A380 is getting closer by. Has it entered Dutch airspace yet, or is it still out? Ooh, breeze of bit of wind over here all of a sudden. Right, landing 18 Charlie. There you go. Seven three seven 800 from KLM arriving from Rome will probably be the first airplane to land on center, but not before this. Speedbird A320 arriving from London Gatwick has touched down on the Polderbaan. Flight time 38 minutes, so that is nominal. The airplane 21 years old already. First flight was in July 2002. As we speak, I do feel that the wind is picking up. That might also be indicative of rain approaching. You typically see wind picking up before rain starts arriving. Just an indication of the waviness in the water. And let's also have a look at the windsock over there. Zooming out, the wind is coming from this direction. It has closed up a little bit more, no more spots of blue, but it doesn't look like rain immediately. And there is, let's hold on to that, there is still a little patch of blue sky visible over there. In the meantime, center has opened up. The first airplane to arrive on runway center is this 737-800 from KLM arriving from Rome. We're waiting for our next airplane and I do see it, and since it is a 777-200, I am going to turn back to watch that arrive, see it crab its way over to the runway. Hey there, Brearley Aviation, goedemiddag. Okay, Emirates is still in German airspace. It's going to be a race against the elements then. This is KLM flight 751 arriving from Ecuador, Guayaquil. Flight time 11 hours precisely according to flight radar as we speak. The 777-200 ER is 19 years old. First flight was in November 2003. So next month it'll celebrate its 20th birthday. And rumor has it that an Embraer 190 from German Airways will be bringing along the cake to celebrate. Ciao Luca, who is tuning in from Bologna. Benvenuto. K3 patrolling over here. Hey there Nova, good morning. And Zaka is informing us that the A380 has just entered Dutch airspace. Hey there Steve from Slovakia, and hey there Sunil from Delhi, India. Welcome one and all. Hope everybody is doing well, and most importantly, hope everybody is having fun watching this. The plan is to stick around until the A380 has landed. And it's going to be a fight against the rain, which is also expected around the same time as the A380 is expected to land. So I might have to perform another emergency evacuation. But that's okay. I've had some practice over the last year. And in my utility card I do have 2 umbrellas. I also always have a roll of garbage disposal bags with me so that I can wrap around backpacks or the power supply I have with me if need be. Now this looks like another stubby, not chubby, that's something different altogether. A stubby 737-700 arriving from Prague. However, we won't be following it long because the next airplane to arrive on Polderbaan is the aforementioned special livery Pencil 757-300 in the 100 years independence livery. Icelandair flight 500, visible in the distance. Has been flying now for 2 hours and 42 minutes. Hadi Wilma, goedemiddag. Hey there Roman, who is tuning in from near Bielefeld. Awesome. Welcome one and all. On a windy Friday early afternoon over here in Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Geraldo, bom dia. Klaus, good afternoon. Got an airplane taking off, passing by. I'm not sure if you guys are able to pick it up on the mic. K3 once again having a front row seat. Oh, and the door is opening. Don't tell me they're going to take a piss again. Last time I zoomed in on a bird controller leaving the vehicle, the man was taking a pee, which of course you have to do when nature calls, but would be a bit strange to do that exactly on the other side of the canal where also the workers are busy. Now this 757 is 23 years old already. Began flying in the beginning of the new millennium, February 2000. Combination of wind and the image stabilizer I have enabled makes for sometimes jittery and jerky motion, very much dependent on the angle versus the wind. If it's more perpendicular, the wind has more hold on the camera and stuff, and it aggravates the jitteriness. Very obvious which operator is flying there. Transavia, going to center. But we're not going to linger. We have a flying AMS Live logo coming up next. It is Aero Mexico, flight 25, the daily flight between Mexico City and Amsterdam, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. This airplane has been flying now for nearly 10 hours, 9 hours and 43 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. First flight was in January 2018. And there is an airplane behind it, but it does look like things have become more cloudy to the north and visibility has become less than it was before. Another indication that the rain is coming. The answer to the question I posed earlier: will we still be able to see spray if the reversers get applied? And the answer is just a little bit. A lot of the spray water is already gone, has evaporated due to the wind. And the next airplane has become visible. But first, let me say a big thank you to Jackie for gifting an AMS Live membership. Thank you so much for that, Jackie. And Peter K, congratulations. You got gifted the membership by Jackie. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. And Jackie, once again, a big thank you. And good day to Andrea Pecorini. Sounds Italian, but is tuning in from East Sussex. Says, great stream. Thank you so much, Andrea. I'm glad you like it. Hope everybody is. And Benny, yes, I do remember the guy with the big umbrella fighting with the wind a couple of weeks ago. However, if you had seen my umbrellas in detail, you would have seen that these are original Sense storm umbrellas, so they would be able to cope with the wind now blowing quite well. Actually pretty nice units. Miss Albert, good morning, tuning in all the way from Canada. Oh, that was you. Ah, Mate, you should upgrade your umbrella to a storm umbrella, one of those aerodynamic ones. They are much better equipped for handling windy situations such as today. This is KLM flight 1700 landing, arriving from Madrid, 737-800. Flight time 1 hour and 52 minutes, so I think that's a bit shorter than normal. Hey there, Jørn. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Now, this is where the wind is coming from. This is where I need to look to see what is coming my way. Rain was said to be expected around 1:10, which is also the expected time of arrival of the A380. The A380 already in Dutch airspace. The rain coming to me, not yet. But I got a hunch that it isn't going to be for much longer. In the meantime, lot Embraer 195, a regular 195, not an E2, arriving from Warsaw, flying to the center runway. In the meantime, an A320 from EasyJet is coming our way, arriving from Milan. And the Norwegian is following the lot 195 to center. Will we be able to make out a grumpy face on the tail from over here? That's a good test of the zoom and focus of the camera. Ciao Paolo, who is tuning in from Milano, where it has become sunny. Dude, send over some sunshine. And Cristiano tuning in from Brazil. Good morning, bro. Good to see you again. How's the footballing going? Miss Albert loves my accent. Well, thank you so much for saying that. Glad you do. Right, this is Norwegian and there does seem to be a grumpy face on the tail, and it should be Jørn Utzon. Hopefully I pronounced that somewhat properly. Now, the only thing I can see on my little 3-inch camera screen is that the tail isn't blank and that there's probably a face on it, but I cannot make out any details from over here. Maybe you guys can. I do see the picture on Flight Radar and I don't see nowhere near the amount of details that is in the picture itself. So, right, more traffic coming to Polderbaan, also traffic coming to the center runway. Where is that? It is a bit like finding a needle in a haystack if they don't have the lights on yet. Visibility is also not very helpful. As you guys can hear, I'm making all kinds of excuses on the fly. And Sudoki, is that how you pronounce it? Says greetings from Finland, where we do not get any cool planes. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you're having fun looking at the airplanes you guys don't get to see in Finland. Follow Me Aviation says that the Saudia Dreamliner is out 4 minutes. Let me have a bit of a bigger look at what is going on. Saudia flying over Purmerend. Where is the A380? That is now crossing marker Meer. Alright, alright. Looking behind me. Sudoku Doku. Ah, yeah, now I see it. I do know some of the Cyrillic alphabet, but it takes much more time to process. In the meantime, this is number 190 arriving from Dublin, Ireland, KLM flight 934, flight time 1 hour and 3 minutes, 9-year-old airplane, first flight January 2014. I am starting to feel the first small droplets. All right. Mario Henrique Arajo says hi from Brazil. Good morning, buddy. Welcome to the show. More KLM Embraers. This should be KLM flight 1766 arriving from Frankfurt. And the next airplane coming to Polderbaan is a 737-800 arriving from Manchester. And doesn't look like there are other airplanes immediately behind it looking visually. There is another one coming. Embraer 190 arriving from Aberdeen. In the meantime, the Saudia Dreamliner has turned onto the glide slope for runway 18 center. I don't see anything yet. I do see an airplane, but I'm not sure if that is the Dreamliner. Is that it? No, that's probably the 737 arriving from Heraklion. See, left of me there should be an airplane arriving from Faro, A320 Transavia. Oh, that must be a rental then. Looking above me, to the left of me, to see if I can see it, but I don't. So I think it is probably in the clouds. It is flying at 5,600 feet, so probably in the clouds or above. Right, at the moment we have an occasional droplet falling. It's not, doesn't qualify as a drizzle just yet, but it is definitely an indication that more rain is coming. The A380 is already past Purmerend, so we should be able to see the landing before wrapping up. Unless, of course, in 5 minutes torrential rain starts pouring, in which case I will reach out for the umbrella first of all. Keep the camera dry. Hey, I Love Planes is back. Good to see you again. Right, now the A380 is flying base and should be turning final for 18 center. I do fear that visibility has become a bit poorer over the hours, and I'm not sure how far ahead we can see it. I think this is the Saudia Dreamliner that we're now looking at. There's an E2 Embraer behind it, or at least there should be an E2 Embraer behind it. The thing is, I don't see the E2 just yet, so I think that the clouds are going to be in the way. That's the Dreamliner, and the E2 should become visible somewhere in this field of view, just to gauge how far ahead we can see it coming. I think that the E2 is still behind clouds, and oh wait, it's in the left, on the left hand side. Okay, so right, and where are we on the ground level? So that is left of the windmills. Okay, gives me something to aim at when trying to locate the A380 that is now turning final for runway 18 center. In the meantime, KLM flight 1444, Embraer 190 arriving from Aberdeen. We have Saudia flight 215 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Jeddah. Is that a retro livery? It doesn't mention anything on flight radar, but it does look a bit retro-y to me. Flight time of this airplane has been 5 hours and 36 minutes. A 1-year-old airplane. First flight January 2022. Interesting, it looks like a retro livery, but there's no mention of it on flight radar. Now, A380, I do see it already. There it is. Now, we also have a TUI Dreamliner arriving from Bonaire. That is coming to the Polderbaan. So let's see it land first and then go back to the A380. Sudoku Doku is confirming it is a retro livery. Too bad that they always land on the wrong runway around this time of day, but there you go. At least visibility unimpeded. This is TUI flight 377 arriving from Bonaire. Boeing 7878 Dreamliner, Belgian registered. Has been flying now for 9 hours precisely according to flight radar. The airplane is 8 years old, first flight January 2015. Last airplane of the day, today's Emirates A388. Arriving from Dubai, the daily flight 147, A380-800. Today the flight time 6 hours and 42 minutes thus far, so a little bit of headwind. Normally the flight time is around 6.5 hours or just a little less than that at this point. The airplane is 7 years old. First flight was in January 2016. It is still in the old standard livery. AMS Live members have access to the latest iteration of the standard livery with the ribbon tail. I think the A380 is going to win the race of the elements. Still a few droplets, but nothing substantial. So we made it. Didn't look like it initially, but managed to keep it mostly dry until the A380 has touched down. Also looking ahead, it doesn't look very threatening, so probably just a few droplets until I reach the car in a moment. Too bad I cannot show you guys. There are two police motorcycles now passing me by behind me. They have all their flashlights on. Was nice to see, but of course this is more important. The A380 having touched down safely on center. Photobomb from Transavia incoming from the left. You can even hear the reversers. At least I can. Not sure if the mic picks it up. Now the reversers have stopped. TUI Dreamliner in the foreground, taxiing back to the main platform area, which is left of the A380. Alright, now folks, I am going to wrap it up. Thank you all once again for joining me here on a live stream here from Polderbaan, Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. I had a blast and I hope you all did too. Thanks everyone for your support, all the likes. If you haven't liked yet, don't forget to do so if you enjoyed this stream, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so, and hit the bell icon if you want to stay updated of upcoming streams. The next stream will probably be tomorrow morning, but it's all weather dependent. But it looks like tomorrow is going to be an okay day for streaming. If I don't see you then, hopefully I will see you on Sunday or maybe on Monday or next week. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Thanks to all the people who became a member or donated a membership, or for all the super chats, super stickers, or maybe if you purchased something from the merch store. Thank you all so much for your support. It means the world to me. This channel wouldn't be anything without you guys. So thank you all so much for that. A big thank you again to the moderators for keeping today a friendly chat and keeping the chat friendly today. I'm in dire need of coffee. Thank you all, Paul, Liam. I don't think we've seen any other moderators today over here. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up before it starts raining more violently. Thank you all for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope to see you all again soon. And I'm going to say bye for now. Be safe.